What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes episode 221, episode 221 of Tuck Rule Takes. The gang is, in fact, not all here. You would know that if you're watching. If you're just listening, thank you, but I implore you to watch. You get a little bit more of an experience. The gang today, whenever you're listening, consists of two people. Yours truly. I am Mike. I am here after being off last week. Felt like I haven't been around in forever, but I am back this week. Liam is no more just for this week. He is gone. Right. So we are here with, honestly, smartest man I know, the resident educator here. Big Al is here. Al, what's up? How you doing, buddy? I feel like I haven't talked to you person to person like this in forever. Like I said, how you been?
I know, it's been good. How are you doing? I mean, you got the light going on. We were talking about, like, before recording, we were talking about Muppets, Bear in the Big Blue House. Like, we were talking about everything. It was great. It was like our childhood was back at our fingertips, and it was fantastic. Gotta love it.
It was. I've been seeing the Rugrats theme song on Twitter recently. I don't know why. So it's kind of it kind of makes sense that you come on all of a sudden you're singing about the Muppets. We wax poetically about Bear in the Big Blue House, all that stuff, rocket power, good things. But yeah, I will address the elephant in the room. Your boy has a light now. If you're watching, you see it's blue. Each week it'll be different. Maybe we'll do some different colors. I can hook this shit up to music, which is crazy. Doesn't really help us here, but just for future, Mike, yeah, it could be fun. It could be fun, but, yeah, a lot to talk about. Obviously, there has been a big move that we have to talk about. There was also the draft combine, which we'll touch on for a little bit. This isn't going to be the big draft episode. We'll just kind of, I got some things I want to throw out there and just get your thoughts on, and then we'll quickly kind of move past it. And then this is big free agency. Free agency starts next week. Legal tampering starts on Monday. Free agency actually starts on Wednesday. So kind of run through some names, see maybe some potential trade targets that the Patriots could get into. But before we do all of that, I want to get it out of the way now. Thank you to Couch Guys Sports for putting this all on, for putting us together. If you have been around for the previous 220 episodes, you know that Al was a big proponent of Liam and I getting together on Tuck Rule Takes on Couch Guys Sports. So shout out to them. Liam also has a Celtics podcast on there. And while we mention that, Al, I'm sure you saw the news today as well.
I did.
A certain Jason Tatum is coming back tomorrow, probably today, or maybe he already came back as you're listening to this. Just quick thoughts. Tatum coming back. Celtics are basically championship contenders now, right?
They have to be. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets acclimated, because you got to think he's going to start, right? Like, he's not going to come off the bench when you're the team's best player. But he's probably going to be at like a 15, 20-minute restriction for at least like the first week or so, and then they're going to really ramp him up. So I'm excited for this Celtics playoff run now. But hopefully Jaylen Brown can continue the production he's put up, because, man, has he been lights out this season.
Dude, he's been killing it. And I think just because of who he is, the team he plays on, he has been kind of overlooked for the MVP. I think with Tatum coming back, I don't think Brown is going to get it. I didn't think he was going to get it to begin with. But still, yeah, Tatum's back. Deep playoff run, hopefully a championship run that maybe ends in our hometown team holding up a trophy, unlike the Patriots did. But hopefully just get there. Again, Couch Guy Sports, that is the Rafters podcast, if you want to go listen to that with our fellow co-host Liam. Also, Sports Spider. Sportspider.com. That is Spider with a Y. Go check them out. You can listen to them anywhere. Bunch of sports stuff on there. Go to the NFL tab. Go to Patriots. We will be right there. If we're not, you hear me say it every week except for last week because I was not here. You just scroll down a little bit and we are right there. Tuck Rule Takes, watch, listen, whatever you want to do. But yeah, thank you to Couch Guy Sports and Sports Spider. Al, I think we have to start with probably the biggest news so far of, I want to say maybe the offseason as a whole for the NFL, I want to say. But Stefon Diggs.
That was the direction you were going?
Where'd you think I was going?
I thought you were going to talk about, wait a minute, let me just get it. I thought you were going to talk about the signing of Jesse Luketa, the outside linebacker from the Cardinals.
I thought I missed something just now when you were talking. I was like, shit, I had Twitter. I was going to start scrolling around.
No. Stefon Diggs, go. Go. You
We
were
will get into special teams phenom Jesse Luketa in a second because the Patriots are already making moves.
off and running.
But off and running, yeah, off to the races. But yeah, Stefon Diggs has been released. Kind of comes as no surprise, even though a lot of us, I think you, me, Liam probably as well. Obviously, we would have preferred he stayed because he did have 1,013 yards. That's his for him, he's so good. That's his eighth best year yards wise. But 85 catches for just over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did it just like most players that came to the Patriots last season. He met expectations, and I think he exceeded them as well. My quick thoughts, and then I want to throw it to you, obviously.
Mhm.
It sucks, but like I said, we kind of expected it. I liked Stefon Diggs, the player, how he played on the field before he came here. But since he came here and left, I like Stefon Diggs, the character, the locker room guy. We'll talk about that real quick as well. But yeah, kind of sucks, but not surprising. How did you feel when the news dropped?
So I'm actually going to go against you and Liam a little bit here and actually say that I'm glad he's gone, but for different reasons.
Okay, fuck me.
So
Shit, sorry.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, Stefon Diggs, the football player on the field, was everything the Patriots could have asked for. 1,000-yard receiver. He was the leader of the receiver room. He was the vocal leader they needed. He did all that well. And for that, Patriots fans appreciate it. But you got to look at three things. Number one, he's going to be 33 years old. Like that's in the NFL. That's what do the kids call it, Mike? Unk status, I believe, is the
He's
term.
unk. I'm 34. I'm fucking grand unk. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he
are
is
you
unk
are grand unk.
status.
Yeah, he's getting up to unk. So he's getting older. Number two, and this is in no particular order of importance, by the way. Obviously, it's the age, the contract. Like for a 33-year-old receiver, yes, I know he was fully healthy this year. I get it, but he's still coming off that ACL, kind of on, and I'm putting this in air quotes, the back nine of his career. Like I didn't see the contract matching up to the expectations of next year. I don't think he was going to get 1,000 yards next year if he was here. I just don't think it was going to happen. So you're paying $26 million for basically a number two receiver. Like, okay, but not necessarily great. And then the obvious one, the obvious elephant in the room, the legal issues. And like, if the legal issues go against him, which who knows what's going to happen, but if it does, then you don't want that in the locker room. You don't want that in the organization. Mike Vrabel's trying to have a locker room of accountability, of justified men that make good decisions on and off the field, and you don't need that from Diggs. You just don't. And he has all the stuff with like Cardi B and the baby mama drama and stuff. Like, listen, again, the play on the field was good, but I think there's just too much on the outside to be like, you know what? We're going to let you go get your money somewhere else, deal with your problem somewhere else. Thanks for the 2025, but it's time to move on. And I think it was the right move. I think it was the right move to get rid of his contract and go after someone better who I know we're going to talk about. And I'm very excited to talk about, especially with you, because you and we're on that wavelength for this one guy who we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, I think yes, I agree with that in kind of little teaser for a little later in the show. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Al. I mean, even though you were a little bit more, I guess we'll say happy, whatever the term is. Just you were ready for it more than I was. Let me ask you, and it's a rhetorical question because you already answered it. For $22 million, to pay $22 million to a 33-year-old receiver who is going to give you 85 catches and just over 1,000 yards, that's not horrible. But now let me tell you, are you going to pay $22 million to a receiver who isn't going to hit 1,000 yards, who is going to be a little bit older, who, like you said, is going to be on the back nine, who is probably going to be second, maybe third on the depth chart when it comes to targets? I'm not talking about, I don't think he's going to be he would have been like a locker room issue. I just think that if you were paying him $22 million last season, I'm fine with that. That's like he was 1,000 yard receiver. Like, thank you. Like, he overcame every expectation, every obstacle. He was great. He played all the time. It was great. But yeah, it's just I think they did him a favor by letting him go before free agency. They did him a solid there because it's easier now for him to kind of negotiate with teams, or I'm sorry, not negotiate because legal tampering hasn't happened yet.
Right,
But
right,
kind
right.
of, yeah, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah.
But just to kind of get the ball rolling for him. No ill will at all. Liam, our co-host is crushed. His thing is all the Patriots players posting, about him, which they do anyways when players leave. Like they did it when Peppers left. They did it when Dietrich Wise left as well. But it's just, the players obviously liked him, the coach liked him, the region liked him, but it's a business. They're gonna upgrade, hopefully, with players we'll talk about shortly. But yeah, I just wish, and I think I said this in the group chat. I don't think I said it on here. The part that hurts now losing in the Super Bowl is that players like Diggs, most likely he's not going to get a Super Bowl ring, which
Right.
sucks because it would have been awesome for him to get it. Like we've said before, it was a magical season last season for the Patriots and many players who came here. Like all the cards kind of fell right for everybody and they just kind of stumbled right before the finish line. So it kind of sucks that players like Diggs, players like Morgan Moses, who this might be his last year, players like Caleb on Chason, like that they weren't going to get a ring. But listen, man, he did everything he needed. And I think he did what he needed to do with Drake May, helped him develop. So, kind of a high five on the way out. Like, I hope he goes to a good team. I really do, genuinely. But, I'm not going to be losing sleep over it.
Right.
But yeah, just kind of sucks. But that's it for him. Anything else on Diggs?
No, again, really good regular season, lackluster postseason, but that was most of the Patriots receivers. So,
Yep.
I mean, you need to get better at the receiver position. And I know this is something that you and I have we started off really far apart on this as far as like over the years, but I think we've slowly
Mhm.
become closer and closer to kind of a middle ground. And I still think it's like, I think I value it a little more than you do, where you're more like whole kind of offense, and I'm like, go get the receiver. I think
Mhm.
now, especially Mike, with the salary cap and now with Diggs off the books, you need to go get that number one receiver. You need to do it. It needs to happen at this point.
Yeah, yeah, no, we definitely started further away. Now we're pretty much on the same, we're in the same chapter there in the book at this point.
Exactly. Right.
Um, yeah, and Diggs is not going to be that guy. So,
No.
it sucks. He's got to go though. Like you said, you got to revamp the room and everything. So, yeah, hopefully he lands somewhere well. And yeah, it's great. It's great that now the team freed up $16 million. They have
Uh-huh.
about what, 54, 55, 57, right around there, I think,
Something like
55 or
that. Yeah.
57 million. They should get some more. We'll talk about some other ways they can extend Michael Owenu.
Mhm.
I think that's a big one to do. You can definitely free up some money there. Maybe do
Yep.
something with Hunter Henry's contract as well.
The one I always
And
bring up, Milton Williams, you can restructure his contract
you
too.
can redo his. Yeah, kind of. There's definitely ways to do it. And actually, these next guys I want to talk about real quick. One guy you can do it with. It's not a necessity, but it's just something you can do. Pop Douglas. This is the final years of his contract. I
Mhm.
guess there's been no extension talk between him and the team, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's not unexpected. I think if you released him, you get like 3.5, $3.4 million. Where would you be on Pop Douglas if they were to just kind of release him to get a little cap space or kind of open up the room a little bit?
I'll tell you what, because I know that I was kind of back and forth about this, and especially in our little group chat that we have, not the TRT one, but a different one. I was like,
So many group
maybe
chats.
too many group chats.
Yep.
And I know I start them all. But with that, right? What if you traded Pop Douglas? What if you found a team to take on his contract for like a sixth round pick or seventh round pick? Like, I know it's not like a sexy trade. It's really not, but you're getting a piece back for someone that's probably not going to be in your offense in 2027. So why not try to get some value for that? And then, maybe the team that he goes to, maybe he signs a new deal. Who knows? But if you're going to go get, we talked about this, Mike, if you're going to go get a veteran wide receiver, however it is, trade or free agency, and then maybe you draft another receiver, right? So now you have the veteran wide receiver, you have a rookie wide receiver, and you still have Kayshon Boutte, Mac Hollins, Efton Chisholm, um,
Kyle
sorry,
Williams.
Kyle Williams. Yep.
Yep.
So you still have plenty of options at receiver. So why would you want to overcrowd that room any more than you need to? So that's where it's like that's where I kind of fall. And it's yeah, I think Pop Douglas is better off moving on. But if they kept him and they kept him on a short-term deal, am I going to cry about it? No.
No, because you like him. He's a good guy. He's solid. I think he had like 400 and something yards. He showed up when you needed him to. My only issue is that the dude couldn't stay upright after he caught the ball. He was obsessed with falling down all the time, just running and stumbling, but it is what it is. What about why not pair him with a pick and send him over to the Giants for a Thibodeau? Get a linebacker.
I mean, I would love
Why not?
that. Would
You
the
know?
Giants do that? I don't think they do that trade,
But
unfortunately.
but but I guess they're looking to trade Thibodeau. So like why not? You know, if you can throw him in as a sweetener or something, he's on a short-term deal. The Giants could use some wide receiver help a little bit, some depth. I don't know.
Mhm.
That was just the first thing I thought.
No,
But
but it's a
because I didn't even think about that if you wanted to trade him because you still get the same cap relief if you
right.
trade him.
That's what I was
So
thinking too. Like either way, and you gain something. So you might
yeah.
as well gain something and instead of just losing him entirely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm cool. I mean, if you trade him for a six, I will tell you they'll have five sixth round picks. They're going to be trading up. So like I'm cool with that. If you want to do it, trade him for a fifth. I don't know. And it's not because we don't want him. Like we just said, I think just the room will become crowded because I think the Patriots are going to add two receivers that are going to play. So Pop Douglas might be the odd man out. Chisholm will be kind of inactive or take his spot or whatever happens. We don't know. But the next couple guys, real quick, just want to talk about
Yep.
Kyrus Tonga and Kayvon Chason. Before earlier in the week, it was these two guys are probably not going to come back. Kyrus Tonga, I don't see him coming back. There's really
No.
been no talks about it, anything like that, which is fine.
He's gonna get a big deal somewhere.
And he should. Good for you. I am fine with being the Patriots team where guys come here for a couple of years or they show out one year and they go get a contract because you know what teams did that? The Dynasty Patriots. So I'm fine with it. Kayvon Chason, though, I thought he was definitely going to be gone. But with how deep the draft is, and I guess the people that are becoming free, whether it's via trade or free agency, he I don't think him being gone is such a foregone conclusion. But if I had to put money on it, I would say both those guys are gone. I'm going to throw it to you. How do you feel? Like I said, I am overall fine with it because of other reasons that we'll talk about. But how would you feel if those two guys left and got the bag in free agency?
I think Tonga, we kind of expect it. So it's like it is what it is. But then I think too with Chase on, it's like it's getting harder and harder to see him leaving because I feel like in a weird way he'd take a hometown discount. The only way that I see him gone is if a team like Tennessee or Chicago that has more cap room than the Patriots just blows him out of the water with this huge, huge contract, which could happen. But
Chicago might. Chicago's making moves.
yeah,
So
like don't be, and this isn't really a hot take because I think we all think this, but don't be surprised if in the next day or two the Chicago Bears get Max Crosby. I think that's just a foregone conclusion at this point.
good for
So
them, man. I'll see you in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Good for them.
exactly,
Can't wait.
exactly. Well, will we see them in the Super Bowl? Who knows?
Yes,
But
we will.
anyways, but Chazon, I think he's more likely to come back. If they didn't bring him back, this is going to sound like a cop out answer, but it depends what they bring in. There's some names that we'll talk about in a little bit that if they brought those guys in that are a little younger and to quote Mike Vrabel, maybe even a little bit cheaper, then maybe that's more beneficial for the Patriots in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also the draft, and we'll talk about this weeks from now, but like the linebacker and edge class in the draft is very deep. I'm talking you could probably get someone in the fourth or fifth round who could produce like Chason did eventually. Maybe not right off the bat, but he could produce that way. And there's free agents that just came available. We'll talk about one that came available today that I want the Patriots to sign in the first hour of free agency, and we'll talk about him too. Another tease. We're fucking teasing everything. But yeah, I think deep down they're both going to be gone. I would love to see one of them come back. I don't think you need both of them. I don't think you need to run it back with both of them, to be honest, because I think that you for what you're going to do in the draft and maybe free agency, you're going to replace one of them. So if one of them can come back, that's great. One guy I think is coming back, and I think the Patriots should kind of put a priority on bringing this guy back, Jalen Hawkins. The dude has been going on a media tour singing nothing but praises for Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. I think he wants to be back. There's really been no talk about a team that might want him. There's been no talk about his free agency value. I think he's coming back on like a 2 or 3 year deal. Hawkins, to me, I don't know where he is in my hierarchy yet. I haven't nailed that down. He's towards the top. I want him back. We don't need to create a hole at safety because you got Craig Woodson who's doing his thing, but I don't want him to be the senior in the room, or I don't want to just create a hole that you have to fill.
Right.
Jalen Hawkins, two things. Do you want him back? Do you think he's coming back?
Yes and yes. I do want him back.
Fuck yeah.
I think he solidifies the safety position. It would shock me if he didn't come back. But again, similar to what we said about Tonga and what we said about Chazon, there could be a team out there that just throws money at him and it's like it's too good to not take. You know what I mean? I mean, money talks. It does.
It does, but I think him out of everybody, I don't know, man. He just seems like one of the guys that will take a little bit of a lesser deal, or like not even that, or maybe just not even wait to get other deals. He might just want to come here because there's the mutual interest. The Patriots don't really have any depth behind him right now. Now they can sign people, they can draft people. There's a couple safeties that they can draft. I've done like 30 mock drafts. There's gonna be safeties there. I'm obsessed with mock drafts, by the way. I hate it.
They're the best, aren't they?
I used to talk so much shit to people that would do them, like, get out of here. And now I got like six saved on my computer just to fire off whenever. But yeah, I think Jalen Hawkins should be back. It'd be awesome to have him back. He's another locker room guy. Vrabel likes that, as most coaches do, but just we're talking about Vrabel. Vrabel values that. If you've watched the Patriots videos that they post on social media, he's always around, does the dubs in the chat and everything. Everybody likes it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would love to see him come back. That would be one of the signings where I'm like, okay, Vrabel is kind of doing what he preaches, practicing what he preaches, where, you say these guys, you want locker room guys, you want good guys. Hawkins is one of those guys. Christian Gonzalez is one of those guys. So like, if you can just bring these guys in, I think Hawkins would be a great guy to keep mentoring Craig Woodson. They seem to have some sort of duo going on back there. They like it, so I hope that happens. But next, I was thinking about the combine. Do you have any other like player for when it comes to this stuff? We're obviously going to talk about free agency and trades, but before we jump to the combine, do you have anything else that you wanted to touch on? Players leaving, not getting back, or contracts or
Nah,
anything?
nah, nothing crazy. Let's get into it.
Yeah, combine. Like I said before, we're not gonna harp on it for a while. There were just some things that I noticed that were interesting. The tight end class, full of freaks, just full of freaks. I'm talking. You got people who you could get who were maybe going to be in the fifth round that will still be there. Oscar Delp is a name to look out for. The Patriots have met with a couple guys. What was his name? Roush, I believe, was one of them. I have a whole little
You got the spreadsheet ready with
dude,
all the
you
like.
you have no idea. And like I'm not gonna like rattle off all the shit that I have on here right now, dude. But like there's a lot of names on here right now. Wide receivers and tight ends though, like be on the lookout, like Patriots fans. I know that we want to add, AJ Brown, Alec Pierce, Njoku, Isaiah Likely, Kate Otten, maybe all these guys you want to add. You probably want to add DJ Moore, maybe some Romeo Dobbs in there. I'm here to tell
Oh,
you.
I have a take on DJ Moore later, but continue.
Oh yeah, fine. Yeah, we got to get to that too.
We
Fuck,
will.
fuck yeah.
We got a
There's
lot.
so
We'll
much to
get
talk
to it.
about.
We got a lot.
But yeah, there are people that you can get. Sam Roush, a guy from Stanford, tight end. The Patriots like him. There's one guy, I forget his name, but he's from Oregon, not Oregon, wherever he is. But there's the Trojans. Is that a guy? That's a thing. What's the
USC
Trojan? But
Trojans.
no, but
USC.
it's the green logo though. It's like a Trojan logo, but they're green.
Is it Oregon or Baylor? Who are you thinking?
Baylor. It might be Baylor. It might be Baylor. I don't know, man. I'm not, like I said, I don't care about college until like a few months before the draft and maybe like a month after. Like that's
Right.
really where I'm at. But the Patriots have shown interest. They talked to some people at the combine. They talked to a lot of tight ends. They talked to a couple receivers. They talked to some linebackers, some edge rushers. I kind of want to get a feeler on you right now. Regardless of what the Patriots do in free agency or trading with a receiver and a tight end, do you think that they should be drafting the future tight end in this draft? My answer, yes, because I think there's like 4 or 5 guys that can fit the mold. But where do you land on that? Like, are you going to spend kind of like you're looking to spend a mid-round pick on a tight end, or are you just kind of, if they're there, take it?
I'm more on the camp of if they're there, take it. Because don't forget, There are some. Oh, there we go. Sorry, froze for a second. There are some really good free agents, tight ends in this free agency class too.
Hmm.
Like you said, a name Isaiah Likely. I think that's a name that no pun intended, but likely could be coming to New England because he's originally from Boston. So I mean, that's a name that we throw out there. You threw out David Njoku. Cade Otton is another name. Okonkwo from the Titans. So my whole thing is, and this is going to sound really dumb and really like vanilla here, but if they don't add it in free agency, then yes, they're going to add one in the draft. But I think there's so many options in free agency. And again, we talked about it earlier. The way that you can restructure a lot of these contracts, you can open up the checkbook and you can add those pieces and then take the whole draft to draft your offensive linemen, to draft your linebackers and stuff like that. Like you can build in the trenches with the draft. That's the whole thing. And then maybe you add one or two pieces in free agency. Who knows? I know I'm asking for a lot here, but when you have money to spend and you have the year that the Patriots had, take advantage of it. So long story short, I'm on team free agency first, and then if not, then use the draft as a last resort.
Yeah, I think free agency, specifically with tight ends, I think they're going to add two. I think you can sign someone, whether it is likely, any of the names you mentioned, the names we'll mention later on. But I think they should be drafting someone too to then take over Hunter Henry's spot. Because I think the guy you draft or the guy you sign is going to be here for whatever, 3 or 4 years. He's going to be kind of your main guy. Then you draft someone to come up behind you build the pipeline. You draft someone to come up behind them, whether it's kind of a more inline blocking guy if you get likely, or if you get like an Njoku who can block and do both. Maybe you get just like a specific if Kenyon Sadiq tight end falls to you in the first round, you have to take him. Like so, there's so many different options, which is why I chuckle to myself when I see people, like when the Patriots released Diggs, it was like, oh my God, what are they doing? I hope they have a plan, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you think what about Mike Vrabel or just a professional football team makes you think they don't have a plan? Now, will the plan work? Will they, if the plan is to sign AJ Brown, will they do it? I don't know. But they have a plan. Like the people who are just freaking out, like, guys, calm down. We're not even, the season hasn't even started yet. Like, chill out. But yeah, I think they have a plan. And I think they're going to sign a tight end. I think they're going to draft one too. Whether it's in the later rounds, early rounds, depending on how the board falls, there are plenty of people for them to draft as there are for wide receivers. The one thing really about the draft I wanted to bring up is 30 visits, right? I know you do if
Mhm.
Al, you're listening there, but if you don't know 30 visits, every team has 30 visits that they can, it's different than a combine visit or something like that. They bring a player in to Gillette Stadium, walk them around. They put them through workouts. They put them through health and wellness, all that stuff. It's a real big thing. I bring it up because the Patriots had 1930 visits last year. They drafted four of them: Will Campbell, Joshua Farmer, Kobe Minor, and Kyle Williams. So these 30 visits are important. One person the Patriots had in for a 30 visit was Mason Thomas, defensive end out of Oklahoma. That is a piece that you can get either with that 31st pick, or if you end up trading it for someone, you can maybe get them with your second round pick too. So the Patriots are putting a premium on certain people. I just want to put that name out there. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. Pay attention to that name because that's someone I think the Patriots are going to grab in the first or second round. So just like I said, want to bring that up. Put that on your draft boards, people, or don't, whatever it is. But just pay attention to who the Patriots bring in for 30 visits. You'll kind of see where they're going with it. So who knows? But yeah, other than that, man, with the draft, I didn't have much. I mean, with the combine, I didn't have much else. Just kind of some of the stuff. There's going to be a lot of guards. Vrabel said that, he thinks that you can get a guard in the mid round, which they should be getting. So I think
Mhm.
you'll be able to get someone there. Offensive tackle, people are saying you may have to take a tackle sooner than you'd want to. So don't be surprised if the Patriots reach, I put that in quotes, reach for a tackle, maybe draft him earlier than you would think. But there's a lot of options that the Patriots can do, and I hope they do sign Hawkins, so you don't even have to dip into the safety market there in the draft.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll see. Was there anything about the combine that you saw, or anything that you had to get off your chest, or
No,
you,
because I am locked in on free agency and trades right now. That's where my
yeah.
mind's at. The combine and everything, I'll worry about like in the draft. I'll worry about after the first couple weeks of free agency. That's when we'll really start to get it going. But
Yeah, dude,
let's
it's the most exciting time of the year.
yeah, let's listen. Let's give the people what they want. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into
Let's get into the good stuff.
the meat and potatoes of this program. Let's get into the free agency. Let's get into the trade stuff. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. And I think we'll start with a name you brought up before. Wide receivers, DJ Moore. And I bring this up because it's going to segue into another guy. So do not
Hmm.
worry.
Yep.
DJ Moore. He became available. There was a report that came out yesterday, maybe this morning, and I despise these reports, but it
Mhm.
was the Patriots could be a landing spot for DJ Moore. Let me
Right.
tell you something, Al. The Patriots could be a landing spot for every single available receiver, for every single available tight end. Like these,
Mhm.
we are in the could era right now of football, and I fucking hate it because
Uh,
there were no reports that the Bills could be a landing spot for DJ Moore. But guess where he is? For a second round pick, the Bills traded a second rounder to the Bears. The Bears sent over DJ Moore and a fifth rounder, which I found that kind of interesting that they sent over a pick that could turn into someone. But yeah, DJ Moore's contract, by the way, is a mess. Like
yeah.
it next week, he'll have money for 2027 guaranteed. Like it's a crazy thing. But let me just get your opinion. DJ Moore, I know you said you wanted to bring him up. He
Yeah.
went to the Bills, second round pick. The Bills, maybe we're going to be in on some other people, but just overall, kick us off with this, Al. How do you feel about DJ Moore and then wherever you want to go?
Thank God he went to the Bills, and thank God the Patriots didn't make that move. I did not want DJ Moore. I didn't want him anywhere near Gillette Stadium. I don't think DJ Moore is a bad receiver, but he's not the number one receiver that you need. Like looking at his stats, yeah, he has some nice stats. Yeah, he had a season where like he had 90 receptions. Like he's had some good years, but I feel like he's just never put it all together. And that's the thing for me. It's like he looks so good one game, and then the next like couple games, he just looks like he doesn't even belong on the field. Like I just didn't want that. And honestly, good for the Bills because listen, let's be honest, when it comes to the Bills, and I love Liam to death, but Liam has a blinder for the Bills. I'm not saying anymore that the Bills are Super Bowl contenders. They're not. I think that window is closed. I really do. But this move makes the Bills better. It makes them, a pretty good offense with James Cook, with the two tight ends, with Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman if he figures it out. But they have a number one receiver now with Josh Allen. So now with that, and we're going to segue in a couple minutes, but now you have to respond with a move. You can't stay with the current receiving room and expect to compete with the Bills on that level. That's
Mhm.
the thing. So that's where I'm at. But listen, I'll take Christian Gonzalez covering DJ Moore 2 times every year for the next couple of years. I'm fine with that. I like that matchup for the Patriots. So you know what? Good for the Bills. They got the number one receiver, and it knocks them out of contention for the wide receiver we're going to talk about next. So check, check, good with it.
Yeah, like I mean, good. Like take all my disdain for the Bills aside. Good for Josh Allen because I don't know if I've said this publicly, and I'll say it now. I want to like Josh Allen so bad.
Mhm.
I enjoy him, not him bitching on the field or whatever, but just like the crying thing afterwards. I didn't care about that really. Like the dude understood that his Super Bowl window, like you said, is closed because his body is deteriorating. They're not going to be able to build a championship team this quick because people you forget. Of course, we're bringing up people like the Patriots, the Ravens, the Chiefs might be around. The Steelers, who knows what they're going to do? The Texans could beat the Bills. People forget about the Bengals because Joe
Well,
Burrow can beat the Bills. Like there are teams, the Jaguars, like there are teams that are going to be building here. And I think that the Bills, their trajectory for a Super Bowl is going the wrong way. Like, if they're on a people mover, they're going backwards and they're passing every other AFC team coming going past them.
mhm.
So I do like Josh Allen. So I am happy that for two reasons, like you said, I didn't really want DJ Moore here. He was maybe like my break glass in case of emergency type of a signing.
Yeah.
But I think with the Bills, he'll do fine there. He'll put up his stats. I'm not worried about him playing the Patriots with Christian Gonzalez and everything, who they will sign. I'm putting it out there. Patriots are going to sign Christian Gonzalez. Everybody
Mhm.
calm down. Don't let anybody work you up. They're gonna sign him. But yeah, I'm not worried. It's a good sign, and I think we're we've held off as long as we can. We'll do the segue. I think this takes the Bills out of who do you want to go to first? The trade or the free agent receiver?
Let's do the trade because
Thank
that's the one.
God.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
fucking do it.
Okay, we're gonna say it. AJ Brown. That's the
Oh
name.
my God.
We all love the name.
Oh,
So Mike, sorry, I'm gonna take this over because
go.
I'm gonna ask you this. So there have been a couple of reports that have come out. Supposedly, according to Ian Rappaport, big NFL insider, you guys all know him by now. The Eagles only want to trade in the AFC. That makes sense. The Bills are now out because they got DJ Moore. The only two teams, Mike, that I can see realistically have a shot at getting AJ Brown and have a need for him are the Patriots and the Ravens. I think the Ravens could be a sneaky dark horse team. But if I'm the Patriots, and I know you're not going to like hearing this, but guess what? You'll live with it if we get AJ Brown. Pick number 31, Mike. I'm throwing it in there. I'm throwing it in a trade package. Let's be honest, okay? This is me and you talking. I know everyone's listening, but this is right now, Mike, just me and you. 31 in NFL draft like talk here. It's two picks away from the second round. It's basically a high second round pick. That's basically what it is. My whole thing is like anything after 25, it's like it's almost getting into the second round. Like I know there have been some diamond in the roughs. Like I think Aaron Rodgers got taken like really late. I get that. I understand that. But when you're that close to the second round, it's like why like talk to Howie Roseman, just be like, all right, you want pick 31 here, you can take it. You want a third round pick here, and then you want a sixth round pick here. That's the offer, and that's the best offer you're going to get. If you're Howie Roseman, Mike, and I'm going to ask you this, why would you not take that deal when you're getting your first rounder, you're getting two more picks? You might have to send over like a fifth round or something. That's fine. But you're getting AJ Brown and his contract off your team and a distraction away from the Eagles. Because I'm going to tell you something, Mike. If he's back on the Eagles this year, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. As long as Nick Sirianni is that head coach, it's going to be the same stuff over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be there.
Right. So I guess my question is, would you do that deal? Would you do 31, a third round pick, and a sixth round pick for AJ Brown? And let's say the Eagles, just for to make it a little more fair, they throw in like a fifth rounder. Would you do that deal?
Al, I have thought about this all day since the morning because that's really when all this reporting about AJ Brown came out. At first, I was kind of like, I want that first pick. I know it's late in the draft or late in the round, but I don't want to miss out on someone and then like, whatever. I've come down to this for me, and this is what kind of solidifies it. Whoever you pick with that first pick, are they going to be as impactful as AJ Brown would be for the next 2 to 3 years? And this is assuming AJ Brown plays like AJ Brown, which I think he will. I know people are
Yep.
talking about his knees. He's on the backside. He still put up 1,000 yards. Like he's still very good. And what I came down to is regardless who you pick with that first rounder, I don't think they're going to have an impact like AJ Brown would have for the next couple seasons. So send the 31st pick, give him a fourth round pick, and then just take AJ Brown. You have two fourth round picks this year. That's what I think you can do. I think you can do a first. I think you can do a fourth and just send them out there. Whatever, get another sixth rounder if they want to, throw something in there as well. Just like how the Bears did with a fifth rounder with DJ Moore. That's why I said that was interesting. Because
Uh-huh.
like if they're going to throw a pick two, maybe if the Eagles want to, that's up to them. I'm fine with that. I have come around on that because at the end of the day, you need to get talent here. Yeah,
Yep.
they still need to draft some. And by the way, I don't think the Patriots should just not draft a receiver if they get AJ Brown. I think that there are people they can draft. There's big guys, there's short guys. You're not going to get Casey Concepcion if you trade your first round pick, but there are guys the Patriots can get. Jacoby Lane, a name to look out for. Like there are people the Patriots can get in the draft. Yeah, dude, I think you send it. Do you think now? Let me ask you because I saw that it was a future first and second. That's kind of what they're asking. Do you think that next year's first and this year's second, like or like something like that. Do you think they mess with the years maybe, or it's like maybe this year's first, next year's third, and then like a sixth from this year, or like, and I know like there's no way to know if this would work until it
Mhm.
happens, but just kind of like what would you be like, would you be willing to, do you think that's in the ballpark, like, or do you think everything has to be this year? Because I do want to bring up too, if the Eagles trade AJ Brown before June 1st, they take a huge cap hit. So
So to answer your question, I
mhm.
think if you send three picks over, so just going back to my idea for a second, just like the one, the three, and the six, just to put it into perspective. I think you have to have two of those picks be this year and then one of them for next year. And I think 31 has to be in there. I think that Howie Roseman is going to want a first round pick this year, have another one in his repertoire to kind of work with it. How he might trade that pick again for something else. We don't know. Because
Probably will, yeah.
one thing about Howie Roseman, and I know Liam hates that he's not on here hearing this, but he's a GM that isn't afraid to make a move, and I respect that. He
He's very
wants
good.
he's very good at his job. He wants the Eagles to win, so I will give him credit for that. So you know what? If you have to play a little bit of hardball and you have to be like, you know what? Here's 31, here's this year's third and next year's fifth or something like that. I think you got to do it. I think you have to because again, like you said, AJ Brown for 2 to 3 years with Drake May, it brings your offense to a whole new level. And I have a crazy kind of thing later that you're gonna like, you're gonna love. It's not feasible, but if they really wanted to, they could do it. But it's not gonna happen. But I still want to throw it out there for shits and giggles. But I think you gotta make it heavy on this year's picks because if this is the year you're gonna do it, I think Howie's gonna want those picks for this year to be able to replace AJ Brown if he needs to.
So just so people know, because I know some people listen because they like one of us as a co-host or something like that. AJ Brown, wide receiver for the Eagles. Howie Roseman, GM. Is he GM or the owner of the Eagles?
I think he's the GM, but
Yeah,
I'll
GM,
I'll
right?
I'll
Yeah,
confirm that.
either yeah. Yeah, he is the GM. So AJ Brown is what, 28 years old if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Howie Roseman, executive vice president of the Eagles. But yeah.
Fucking titles, whatever. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
my thing to you, Al, would be if the Patriots are going to send the first and the third. I don't care if they send or like whatever for next year or something like that. I would be fine with that as long as they package one of those fourth round picks in a sixth and move back up into the third. I don't want to, in the first 3 rounds, I don't want to only have one pick in a draft that is still important because this team is still building. Like they're not rebuilding, but they're still in like the early stages of building a foundation. Like I don't, first, let me just get it out there. I love AJ Brown, so I would want him here. I'd be happy regardless. It's just varying levels of happy. I'm fine with giving up the first. If you can get away with a first and a fourth, I would be elated with
Oh,
that.
of course you would.
But if you have to do a first and a third, I want them to somehow get back up into the third round because I just think that there's too many people in that second day that they could get that I just don't want them to miss out on. But regardless, that's a future Mike and a future Patriots problem.
Mhm.
If you have to send first and a third and then like a sixth next year, we'll call. Because I think a first, a third, and a fifth is way too pricey. Now,
Right.
again, you are trading for someone. And this is what I try to remind people. You can't force a trade. You have to make the trade attractive to someone. The
Mhm.
issue that the Patriots are going to come into is their picks are going to be towards the end of every round. If the Ravens come in, their picks are a little bit closer. Now, again, would the Ravens be willing to do a first, a third, and a next year sixth? I don't
But
think so.
here's to go off your point because I was going to bring something up. And I'm going to give Nick Cattles credit here. Used to work for 98.5. Now he's doing a bunch of things. I think he does Greg Bedard's
He
podcast
works
too.
with Greg Bedard, and it's frustrating because I want to like him, but sometimes I'm like, fucking work with Greg Bedard, who,
But
by the way, I'm
but
going to bring up Greg Bedard in a second, but yeah, keep
yeah,
going.
but here's the point I was going to make. And Cattles made it on Twitter, and I think it's a great point. The Ravens have the 14th overall pick, and they have a new head coach this year in Jesse Minter.
They do.
So they have a new head coach that they want to try to give all the resources to possible.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you have Jesse Minter in there, he's going to want to make a pick. And especially with that Ravens offense, like it's getting older. Like Derrick Henry's getting older. Like Lamar Jackson, like he's still in his prime somewhat, but he's getting up there too. Like they're gonna want to build in the draft. Are they really gonna want to send number 14 overall to the Eagles in that pick for in that trade for AJ Brown? I don't think so.
That's
So
way
that's
too
where
high.
so that's where the Patriots have an advantage. It's like, okay, Howie Roseman, listen, you have a disgruntled wide receiver that clearly does not want to stay there. We know that the Ravens are probably not going to give you 14. And if they do, then good for you, but probably not. So the Patriots can be smart about this. But if it comes down to Howie Roseman being like, if you throw 31 in and you give me that third and that fifth we were talking about, excuse me, we have a deal. I think you just have to pull the trigger on it and make that deal. You have to.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Like and people are going to complain about overpaying or whatever. That is what trades, that is what free agency is. Like that's what happens this time of year. Like let's not fall in love with picks. Like I'll stay on it. I want AJ Brown. I think he would be great. Whatever locker room issues, I put that in the Stefon Diggs category where he's not a locker room issue. He fucking hates the coach. And you can understand that if you're a football fan. Like
Right.
Nick Sirianni seems like he sucks to play for. Like he just seems like he's annoying as shit. And Jalen Hurts, that offense, I know people all last year were like, "Oh, the Eagles are winning," all that stuff. That offense is not fun for a receiver.
No, it's
Like
not.
at all. Like there were times where Jalen Hurts threw the ball like 14 times. Like, no, that is not a fun time for a receiver. So especially someone like AJ Brown, who is still in that prime of his career a little bit, maybe towards the back end, definitely towards the back end. But yeah, he wants to go somewhere. So like if you have to do this year's first and this year's third, and then whatever else next year, it is what it is. I'm just talking about this year.
Yep.
You have to do it. I
Have
know
to.
that Patriots fans they're not gonna like it. They're gonna hate it, but I promise you, you will like it when AJ Brown has a few 100-yard games to start the year. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you'll all be fine. Remember last year, Al, and this is actually what comes to I'll talk about it with the next receiver we're going to talk about because it has to do with a player the Patriots just signed as well last offseason. But yeah, with AJ Brown, get him here. He's a guy you can sign for 3 years. You can rework the deal if you want to, because he's going to
Yep.
be. I think he's getting paid in like the mid 20s or
Mhm.
whatever it happens to be. Yeah, rework the deal, extend him, bring him here. He's going to want to play. He likes Mike Vrabel, so any locker room issues that is not a real thing to me because he has never been a locker room issue. He's been someone who, like, just like any other diva receiver who wants the ball, he's pissed when he doesn't get it, rightfully so. He's one of the top 10 receivers in the league when he's actually getting fed the ball.
Mhm.
But you need someone to replace Diggs, to replace those 85 catches. AJ Brown is your guy. He is on your board, on my board, the number one target that the Patriots could get this offseason. Whether it's
Yes.
trade, free agency, draft, anything, AJ Brown is at the top. He is that good. He likes Vrabel. Just picture Drake May throwing the ball to AJ Brown. That's all I'm going to say. And go have your wet dreams, kids, because it's going to be beautiful if it happens. And I think the Patriots feel relatively confident about it. Otherwise, you don't do the Diggs move. So I
Exactly.
think that they're confident in something, but a first and a third would be the most, and like you can't really do more. Like they're not going to do a first and a second. Like, but
Right.
if you could just somehow do a first and a fourth, I would love that. Or if you could do next year's first and like this year's third, even if you want to do next year's first and this year's second, I'm fucking cool with that. Like I'm not going to fall in love with these picks because it is what it is. If the Patriots are going to be as good as we all think, they're going to be picking towards the end of the rounds next year anyway. So it is what it is, guys. And hopefully they draft someone. I know, oh, this team can't draft anyone. Well, they got to keep trying. Like that's how you get number one receivers nowadays. It is what it
Mhm.
is. So yeah, AJ Brown, go get him. But my question to you is, if the Eagles trade him before June 1st, like I said, huge cap. I think it's like $40 million or something. If they trade him after, it's like 20 million. This is why I brought up next year's picks. because I think they might have to. But I could also see the Eagles just doing it anyway before that time. Because I know people talk about money and everything, but the Eagles and teams have done crazy things before. So even though we want AJ Brown, I don't even think the compensation is the big issue. I think the Patriots and the Eagles can work something out. I think timing is the issue. How would you feel if they did risk it and kind of like, listen, if the Eagles were like, listen, talk to us after June 1st, we'll reconvene then? Because I'm
No,
seeing what if they that exactly because what if they
no.
do that, they pass up on an Alec Pierce who we're going to talk about, and they
Yep.
are left with a Romeo Dobbs or a Christian Kirk. You know what I
I
mean?
I think that if an AJ Brown deal is going to happen, so we're recording this on Thursday, March 5th. It's about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think within the next 72 hours. So even when you're listening to this podcast on Friday, if you, within the next 72 hours, I think a deal has to get done for AJ Brown. Because I think if they don't, I think the Patriots are going to say, screw this. We're done with this. We gave you an offer. You're not going to listen to it, and you're probably not going to get anything better for him. So he's your headache. Have fun. And then the Patriots will pivot to, like you said, to an Alec Pierce or something like that. And I think Howie Roseman is going to have another big mess on his hands. But again, I know we're a Patriots podcast, but if I'm the Eagles, I don't want that distraction again. I don't. If I'm Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and all them, I don't want that distraction because I'm going to tell you something. Hot take here, and Liam won't like hearing this, but I think Philly is closer to a rebuild than they are to a championship right now because they're getting older. Dallas Goedert's going to be leaving. If AJ Brown's out the door, that's two offensive pieces that they have. And you know what? The NFC is getting better. The whole league is getting better.
The
So if
whole
I'm
league, dude, it's crazy.
if right, and if I'm Howie Roseman, I say, you know what? We have to rebuild. We have to retool. Let's get the picks in here, do what we have to do, and say goodbye to AJ Brown. It's gonna suck that he leaves. Like he's gonna go to New England. It is what it is. He'll probably be good for a couple more years, but we have to. We gotta like do something here. And again, like I said, I'm just gonna repeat myself again. If you're the Patriots, if you don't get that deal done, you go in a different direction and you allocate that money toward other things. Maybe you go a little higher on a pass rusher. Maybe you go a little higher on offensive tackle in free agency. But you will have a plan. But see, for the next 72 hours, do everything you can to get AJ Brown here. Just make it happen.
The Eagles are good at drafting too, so this is where the picks come into play. Where I think they probably want a first and a third because they know they're good at drafting, and I think
Right.
even they could absorb that big dead cap hit. And I tried to explain the cap thing to someone yesterday, actually, through like voice text. And like, it becomes so crazy how it's like signing bonus, real money, cap, this and that. By the way, the cap is not crap because all these teams are doing these things to get under the cap. If anything, contracts are crap because you could fucking throw what you could pay someone a
Oh, you can
million bucks,
finagle contracts left and
but
right.
they got 30 million in a signing bonus. So it's like whatever. But I think the Eagles might be happy with some better picks because, like I said, they know they can draft. So you absorb that cap hit, you draft, you get some good guys, which they will do because they're the Eagles and they're very good at it. And you have those good guys at a low cap number, so it doesn't really impact you. You still have Devontae Smith, you still have Saquon Barkley, and you still have Jalen Hurts. So even if they get rid of AJ Brown, they absorb that big hit. They'll draft someone. I guarantee you, they will draft the next great tight end or a great receiver to go with Devontae Smith. I
Mhm.
don't think that and their defense is kind of set for the most part. Not set like they still have to do stuff, but like they're
They
not.
have they
They
have the
don't have crazy
foundational
needs.
pieces. That's the thing.
Exactly, exactly. So I think like you said, and I guess the Patriots have an offer out to the Eagles. The Eagles have rightly so rejected the offer, but I think the Patriots need to leave that offer there. Say it's a second and a fourth rounder. Leave it there. Let the Eagles do their thing. When free agency starts, closer to that date, probably this weekend, Vrabel calls Howie Roseman, hey, like, what are we doing? Because, like, we're trying to add things. We're trying to get Alec Pierce, who we're going to talk about in a second. Like, what are you doing? What's the feelers out there with them? And then you kind of go from there. Like you said, Al, if they don't want to do anything by Wednesday, I think you got to cut bait and move on.
Not
I
even
think that's
Wednesday.
what you
I
got to
give
do.
I give them till Monday.
Or Monday, because that's legal tampering. So yeah, because
Right.
at that point you can legally talk to Alec Pierce, who again keep teasing. We're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, I think if a trade, God, if Jason Tatum could come back on Friday and the Patriots could get AJ Brown on Saturday,
Oh, what a
Jesus
weekend.
Christ,
What a
buddy. Oh
weekend.
my God. Oh, that'd be great. But yeah, we'll see. But I think for you, for me, and probably for Liam, because he's an Eagles fan deep down, not even deep down, right at the surface.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, right there. AJ Brown's the guy. I've
Yep.
always liked AJ Brown. When he left Tennessee, I wanted him to come here. There was no reason for him to, but he went over to the Eagles. He played well. God, that would just be. I see when I see AJ Brown, I see my favorite receiver I've ever seen play. I see a mini Calvin Johnson. That's what I see. Like, and I loved Calvin Johnson, Megatron. This is
Mhm.
Minitron, and I know that was Edelman's name, but that's what this is. So, yeah, I'd love it, dude. I would love to see AJ Brown here. Would you be content with him being the number one guy here,
Thousand
AJ
percent.
Brown?
Not
Yeah,
even a question. Thousand
yeah.
percent.
Yep, I figured, but I have to ask. So yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
I will say if AJ Brown has signed, go back to wherever you're listening to this podcast because there will be an emergency podcast because
Mhm.
we will fire one off. It'll be a quick one, but like AJ Brown is a guy we'll do that for because he is great. I would love to have him here 2 to 3 years, win a Super Bowl, go off. Um, but if the Patriots cannot get AJ Brown, there is another guy who no one thought was going to be free because everybody thought he'd be franchise tagged. Alec Pierce, wide receiver from the Colts. The Colts decided to franchise tag Daniel Jones, which he's a quarterback. They're always going to do that. Quarterbacks are always going to take precedence over any other position. Alec Pierce, 25 years old, 47 catches, over 1,000 yards. I'm going to throw it to you. What do you think the Patriots should do with Alec Pierce? Should they be balls deep in on him? I mean, obviously he's going to be the second choice because I think AJ Brown is the first one. But just kind of Alec Pierce, Patriots. I'm throwing it to you, Al. How would you feel? Break down the conversation and we'll go.
Okay. So I told you earlier I had a little crazy theory, and it
Mm-hmm.
is crazy.
What are you gonna say? I know. I think I know where you're going.
Okay, tell me, what do you think?
You
And
think they're
I'll
gonna
tell
get AJ Brown and Alec Pierce?
I don't think they're gonna get both, but I think they should try to get both. But here's
Okay.
why.
All right. Talk about it.
Here's why, right? We just talked about AJ Brown for about 20 minutes, so we don't need to get more into it, but you're trading away picks, you can restructure that contract however you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alec Pierce in free agency. Supposedly there are three teams that would be, quote, really hot on Alec Pierce.
The verbiage, by the way, of how
I
these
know.
teams,
I
it's
know,
crazy. It's
like
like, oh,
air
they're
quotes and
hot
everything.
on him. Like, oh, they're getting
Yeah,
fucking hot and
on the
bothered.
trail, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, besides the Patriots, do you want to guess the two other teams, Mike, that supposedly would be on that in that conversation? And this is all rumors, obviously. I don't know
I'm
how
gonna guess. Is it the Raiders and the Titans?
it is. Good. Good
Yeah.
job. Yeah, you
Almost
saw.
like we're both on social media just
Yeah,
as much.
crazy, right? So, if you're picking between the Raiders and Fernando Mendoza, you're trying to pick with Tennessee, but I'll say this about Tennessee. Tennessee, if they do everything right, could have a Patriots, not exact type of Patriots turnaround, but they could be in like the 7 to 9 win range if they do everything right. But again, everything's got to fall for them. But they have
Mhm.
money to spend, just like the Patriots did last year. But if you're picking between those three teams, head coaches, right? Um, Mike Vrabel, Robert Saleh, Clint Kubiak. Advantage Vrabel because he's a head coach. Now Salah was too. I give Salah credit. I think he got a raw deal with the Jets, but
Oh, definitely.
I still think
As
he
everyone does.
right. But
Like,
I still think that Salah will do some good in Tennessee, but it's going to take time. And I think Clint Kubiak, as good as he was in Seattle as the offensive coordinator, the Raiders have a lot of problems there. They have a lot that they need to get
Tom
before
Brady being one of
they're
the
any good.
problems. Him and
Yeah.
Alex Guerrero.
And like Kubiak, I think will be good for the Raiders, but it's going to take a couple years. I really do,
Mhm.
especially if they trade Crosby too within the next 72 hours. Like that's going to be another player, big time player, gone.
Mhm.
So if I'm Alec Pierce, and those are the three big name teams, why would you not pick the Patriots? And if you're the Patriots, you could kind of play it out, right? Because let's go into fantasy land for a second here, Mike. Let's
Okay.
say let's say the Patriots pull off a trade for AJ Brown. So AJ Brown's on the Patriots for a second.
Love it.
So you
Yep.
have AJ Brown. Now you say to Alec Pierce, listen, AJ Brown's probably going to play the Steph Diggs role. He's probably going to be, a zone beater. He's probably going to be in the slot a lot. Like he's going to get a lot of touches. But don't forget, Drake May loves to throw the ball deep. And Kayshon Boutte, as good as he was, you know, it's going to be tough if he's getting double covered. If you have a corner and you have a safety on the other side, kind of trailing. Alec Pierce can kind of, take some pressure off Kayshon Boutte. He can get some touches too. So if the Patriots offered him 15 to 20 million, as opposed to again like the 25 to 30 million supposedly he get from the Titans or the Raiders, if Alec Pierce wants to have winning as part of the team he wants to be a part of, why not go to the Patriots? Why not take the coach, take the quarterback, then you have your slot guy, then you have another deep threat, you have two young receivers, a 25-year-old and a 28-year-old in your offense. And that elevates everybody else up. That elevates Kyle Williams. That elevates Mac Hollins. That elevates Kayshon Boutte. Now you got a real offense. And I'm talking just the receivers, Mike. Like, we know how good the backs are. We know Ramondre had a great year, and Travion, I think, is going to be better in year two. You have Hunter Henry. You probably could add a tight end, whether it's
someone.
like
Yep.
they'll get somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, you build in the trenches in the draft. That's the key. You could, again, I know it's not going to happen. I just want everyone on this podcast to understand. I'm saying I know it's not going to happen. It's one or the other. But if you really wanted to shake things up and really, really make a statement, that's the statement you make. Because then who's going to stop the Patriots offense next year? Because again, we're in fantasy land, right? We're in fantasy land here. You would have Alec Pierce, you'd have AJ Brown, you'd have the backs, you'd have the tight end. I'm repeating myself, but
and you have Drake May.
And you have Drake May, but that's beside the point. But that's beside the point, right? Because we know that already.
Yep.
AJ Brown's covered. All right, that's going to be a Mac Hollins game. Mac Hollins is covered. All right, guess what? Alec Pierce is going to have a big game. Alec Pierce, you want to cover and AJ Brown? All right, there's Kyle Williams going down the right side. There's so many options. And that would make it, and think about how much pressure that would take off the defense. Because in the Super Bowl, the defense was pretty good, right? And they're going to add their pieces and everything. They'll add their small pieces. They'll add their complementary pieces. Don't worry about that. You build this offense up more, it's more balanced, and you have a chance to get back to the Super Bowl with a team like that.
Dude, AJ Brown and Alec Pierce would be incredible.
And again, it's not going to happen, and it sucks, but it's fun to speculate. It is.
It is fun. In the co-host who doesn't think that's fun isn't here today. So
we're gonna have some fun.
I will say that would be fun. And I think that would be the dream. That was almost like AJ Brown and Stefon Diggs. Like that was almost where I was with that too, which I think that was a little bit more realistic, but they could do it. But my only thing that I'll change with you, Al, that Alec Pierce is not getting under 20 million. He just isn't. Like, and that's the, but you know what? That's fine. I think you could give him 28 million and still have AJ Brown. Now, again, like that's its own thing. I think that could be a thing. But now let's just talk about Alec Pierce. He's 25. He's a deep ball guy. Like I said, 47 catches for over 1,000 yards. That would help this offense tremendously. I think you could get him here. And going by the teams that you said, the Raiders, yeah, they're in a couple year rebuild, which I think that they'll be good. I think Fernando Mendoza, I think he could be good. I know nothing about him. I didn't watch a single thing of tape. I just go by what the experts say. I think they'll be good as long as Tom Brady doesn't fuck it up. The Titans, I think that it might take them 2 years. I don't think that they'll have the Patriots-esque thing. I think they'll win like 8 games and they'll be on the right path. If you're Alec Pierce, very simple. Al, who were the 2 teams in the Super Bowl last year?
The Patriots and the Seahawks.
Do you want to go to the Raiders or the Titans, some rebuilding teams, or do you want to go to the AFC representative in the Super Bowl of last year? That's the dick I would lay on the table in front of Alec Pierce. I'd say we went to the Super Bowl when we weren't supposed to. And now we're building. Now we're adding people. Now people want to come here. Let me tell you what we're going to do on offense, Alec, since you're here, which that's going to piss me off. Fucking Alex. Don't give me the C, not Alec. It's just, I don't, it's one of those stupid little things. I'm old,
I
little things
understand.
annoy me.
I
But
get
it's
it.
like, but it's like, let me tell you what we're going to do. Have you heard of Drake May, runner up to the MVP in his second year, his first full year? Do you like that? Do you want to make a deep playoff run again? Because you can come here and do that here. I know you were on the Colts with Daniel Jones and the little Phillip Rivers last year. You have, like I said, let me just reiterate, the runner up to the NFL MVP, not comeback player, not offensive player, not rookie, NFL MVP. And he only lost because people wanted to give Matthew Stafford a Lifetime Achievement Award, which I'm fine with. But do you want to play with Drake May, or do you want to play with Cam Ward, who's still coming up, or do you want to play with a rookie? That's what
I'll
I would say to him.
I'll take it a step further. Ready? And this is going to be even better. Look at the coaching staff she would have. So again, right? Look at just so the head coaches we talked about the offensive coordinator. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Didn't Josh McDaniels just win assistant coach of the year?
Dude, I forgot. He did.
He did,
Oh my
right?
God.
And the offensive coordinator in Tennessee, Brian Dable, I'm sure he's going to do a good job in Tennessee. Got fired as the Giants head coach, right? Because he couldn't hack it, obviously.
Yeah.
So, you're taking the same shit. But then again, McDaniels got fired too. So that point is null and void. But anyways, still, he won assistant coach of the year, McDaniels.
Mhm.
So that means something. And we don't know what this offensive coordinator in Vegas is going to do. We just don't know.
Mm-mm.
So again, you want the young quarterback, like you said. You want the winning culture. You want the coaching staff around you. New England, advantage New England, advantage New England, advantage New England.
That's why I like that it's a free agent thing, because this is different than the AJ Brown stuff where you're trying to convince the team. You just have to look the player in the eye and say, hey, do you want to play for, I mentioned it, runner up to the MVP? Do you want to play for the 2025 coach of the year? Do you want to play offense for the 2025 offensive coordinator of the year? Like you just tell me what you want to do, because we're going to be making the Super Bowl run regardless. Do you want to be here for it or not? Go
Right.
call Stefon Diggs. Go talk to Mac Hollins. Go talk to Kyle Williams, who's a rookie who was here. Go talk to Hunter Henry, a veteran who's pretty well respected in the NFL. Go talk to any other veteran that's been here. Let them tell you how the culture is. Just go walk around in Boston. Go see how this fan base will treat you. Go listen to some of the games. Just go type your name in on social media. Like just like go see the Patriots are now a destination again, and it's different than before, because before it was legacy, it was Brady, it was Belichick, hard nosed, but you win a Super Bowl. People have fun now here, and people like Mike Vrabel. Like, come play for us. So I think that the sales pitch can be really good. Um, will he come here? It's going to come down to what Alec Pierce wants. Because I think that money, I think the Patriots will be there with money, whatever it happens to be. Unless some team goes crazy and gives him 35 million bucks.
Which could
There,
happen.
there has to be a cap. And Al, you and I talked about this earlier this week. There has to be a cap on what you'll spend on players.
Right.
But I don't think anyone is going to outbid the Patriots. So it's just going to come down to, does he want to sign sooner, later? Does he want to play for a winning team, or does he want to make an extra $1 million to play for the Titans? If
Mhm.
that's the case. But I don't think it's going to be. I think the Patriots are going to pay for Alec Pierce, because Christian Gonzalez's inevitable contract is not going to hit this year. It will hit next year. Drake May's contract won't hit until the next couple of years. So like they have money to spend right now. So Alec Pierce being here would be great. And this is also what I wanted to bring up. People were saying, Alec Pierce, he only had 47 catches, right? How would he be being the number one guy? Because Michael Pittman Jr. was the number one guy. Joshua Downs was the guy over there as well, who was getting some targets over in Indy. The Patriots signed a guy last year who the question was, can he play on every down? How's he going to be? Because he was a part of a rotation. How's he going to be when he comes here? I think the Patriots might have overpaid for him. And let me ask you, Al. Milton Williams had a good year, right?
Milton Williams had a phenomenal year.
All that commentary was about him. Can he
Mhm.
play every down? Is he just a pass rusher? Like, can he be a part? How is he in the locker room? We don't know. We haven't talked to him. He's kind of been kind of quiet or whatever. Like, what's going on with him? Oh, you're overpaid for a guy that's going to play just strictly pass rush. Like, what's going on? Nope. The Patriots overpaid for a guy, and he deserved it. Those are the same type of things or thoughts that I have about Alec Pierce, where I think that he is ready. He's not like Juju Smith-Schuster, who he was really eating because AJ Brown was taking all the good coverage. I don't think Alec Pierce was eating because Michael Pittman Jr. was taking the good coverage over in Indy. I think Alec Pierce is ready to be the number one guy. I would love to have him here. AJ Brown is number one. Alec Pierce is number two. He's not that far behind, but Alec Pierce is number two. Let me ask you, Al, would you be happy if Alec Pierce was the number one guy? No AJ Brown, just Alec Pierce.
No, not as the number one. No, I wouldn't because I have concerns about, yeah, he's a great deep ball threat. Don't get me wrong, but if you need a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 8 and you need a gotta have it down, are you going to trust Alec Pierce to really make a big play? I don't know if I can trust him yet. I don't. So that's where my issue lies. Like if you got Alec Pierce and then like I'll even cave and say like a Romeo Dobbs. If you got both of them, it's like okay, you're adding a couple of pieces. Because that's the whole thing. Add a couple pieces. Now, especially with Diggs gone, you have to add a couple pieces on offense. And if you're gonna not add a second receiver, then you better add, like we said, an Isaiah Likely or a Cade Otton or a tight end of that caliber to help out Hunter Henry.
Okay.
You need to add something else. So
That was going to be my question to you.
yeah,
If they added someone, if they added one of your Chigakonkwo, if they added a Kadon, Isaiah Likely, or David Njoku, if they added
fine.
one of them or Romeo Dobbs, Wandale Robinson, I don't know who, or if let me ask you, if they got Alec Pierce, because you'd be fine with everything else. If they grabbed one of the top tight ends
Mhm.
or a Romeo Dobbs and Alec Pierce, you'd be fine with that, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What if they did Alec Pierce? And we will throw out all those names we just mentioned before towards the end. It'll be kind of like a rapid fire thing. We won't really
Yeah.
dive into it. But if they got Alec Pierce and then drafted someone who they thought was going to be the next guy, what would your confidence level be then? Would it be the same as the other ones? Or would you still be a little like, I'm open to it, wait and see? Or would you still be upset about it?
Not upset, but I would be suspect of it
Okay.
because and it's just a me thing. It's with drafted guys, unless it's like, and this guy hasn't even had a great career. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. was supposed to be the next big guy, right? Like,
Liam wanted him over anybody. Yeah, I
right,
remember.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're getting like Jamar Chase in the draft and he's coming out and he's being a difference maker day one, I have my hesitancies. And especially, Mike, you know how it is. And this is just a fact. The Patriots have been horrible over the past, we'll
So
call it
bad.
10 years. The last 10 years, they have been horrible with wide receiver selections. I mean, N'Keal Harry, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. Do I need to go on?
Dude, and the thing is, we like Kyle Williams, but still, like
He
the
had a
jury
couple
is
good
still out.
games. He had a couple good games. He
Yeah,
didn't put together a full
yeah,
season.
the
There
jury
was
is still out
flashes
on
in
him.
the pan. He's done more than Jalen Polk or Javon Baker and those guys. He has, but there
Mhm.
needs to be more consistency. That's the whole thing with him.
Joshua Boyce, that's another name. Aaron
Oh
Dobson.
God,
You really want to get
jeez.
crazy, dude? We'll go back there. But let me tell you, what if I don't think he'll fall? But what if the Patriots get Alec Pierce and Denzel Boston?
Again, I need to see the production. I just
Okay. So, so,
I
so just
can't I
because they're
can't.
rookies, that's why, right? Okay, that
It
makes
is,
sense.
and I'm just yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
how
makes
I am.
sense.
I like proven. I like production. I like what have you done for me? Like if you're a rookie, you come in great, but then you gotta do it consistently.
Mhm.
That's why I'm so pro. Go get AJ Brown. This guy has done it for years and
Yeah.
consistently for years. Alec Pierce, he's done it. He did it last year, but can he keep doing it? Like that's why I'm hesitant for him. That's why
Mhm.
I'm so like, yeah, AJ Brown, AJ Brown. That's your answer.
Dude, and you,
And
I am there with you,
I know
a
you are.
100%. I would let AJ Brown is number one with a bullet for me. That's who I would want. Alec Pierce, you need you need a couple other you need a couple other things. Not like if you get AJ Brown, just leave the wide receiver room alone. But like if you get AJ Brown, I don't give a shit what you do as long as you add another body. Like that's my thing. It could be Wandale Robinson, it could be Romeo Dobbs. You could draft a guy in the fifth. You could draft Ted Hurst, who's another name. Patriots fans, pay attention. Ted Hurst draft. That's a guy they could add. I think he's like 6'4". Like you could do something like that. But if you get Alec Pierce, you need Romeo Dobbs, which I know Patriots fans, Romeo Dobbs, he's good, guys. He can replace Pop. He can do some stuff. But yeah, I think AJ Brown is the guy. You kind of get him and then kind of move on to other things. If you get Alec Pierce, you have a threat. I think you have
Mhm.
or you have a threat or like a weapon. AJ Brown is someone people have to game plan against. Alec Pierce right now is just a weapon, a very good weapon. Like don't like you just picked up like an assault rifle. Like you got a very good one. AJ Brown's a bazooka. But if you get Alec Pierce, that is a good one to have. Throw him into the offense, go deep. I'm sure he'll catch 70 plus passes or whatever, over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. I'm cool with that. But you got to
Yep.
still add. Definitely get a tight end. But yeah, those are the two guys. Anything else on Alec Pierce before we kind of rapid
No.
fire free agency?
No.
We'll start with tight end since we kind of went there. So a couple guys out there. Kyle Pitts was someone we all wanted. He got franchise tagged, so it makes sense. I mean, it'd be
He
stupid for
was
them.
he was on my bottom tier of tight ends. Like he's really
I
good, but
wanted him.
like
Yeah,
I know you did. That was your guy. I know.
he was my
It
guy. Then
was
when they fucking tagged him, I was like, it makes sense, guys. I get it. Good for you. Like it is
right.
what it is. Tight ends though, top on my list, David Njoku. I love David Njoku.
Mhm.
I've liked him for a long time. I think he's very good. He can do a little bit of everything. He can block a little bit. He can catch. He's strong. He can run through tackles. Kate Otten is another one. I know that's one that you really, or that you're kind of a little bit hotter on than I am.
Yeah.
A little bit. But then there's Chiga Okonkwo from Tennessee, kind of a unknown. Like, I think he has the talent. I think he'd be in
Mhm.
kind of that second tier. But the one guy everybody's talking about, and then I want to throw it to you with all the tight ends and kind of where you are with them.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely is the guy coming from the Ravens. Like you said, he's a New England native, so he likes New England. And again, this is another free agent, so all you need to do is just sell them on playing here. And then it comes down to money, which I think you can do with him. I think you can still get the money. The Patriots will not have a shortage of money to get one or two big guys, like you said. But
Right.
out of the tight ends, I don't know if I missed any, but kind of where are you with them, and who would be your number one guy, regardless of what they do at receiver? We're talking just strictly in a vacuum tight end. How do you feel about the position, the free agents out there?
Isaiah Likely is my number one. I think he could just be a dynamic playmaker. Like I don't care as much about the blocking aspect as I do about the catching aspect
Mhm.
because like not that you're going to demote Hunter Henry because you're not, but Hunter Henry can fill in for blocking purposes if you need him. And also, by the way, just going back to receiver for a sec, Mac Hollins, what was one of the reasons they brought him in? Great at blocking in the run game, right? And just a great blocker in general. So
Mhm.
you can mix and match different pieces there, but Likely's my number one guy. I would say probably Njoku's probably my number two. I would go probably Kate Otten number three. Kyle Pitts would be four. And then who am I missing?
Oh no, not Kyle Pitts or Chig Okonkwo or
Okonkwo.
whatever.
I'll put Okonkwo four and I'll put Pitts five.
Dallas Goddard is out there too. That's one name I forgot. I don't want him.
I'm okay. Like if he was the last guy out there and it's like, okay, you sign him to a 1 year deal. All right, fine. But you're just running into the same problem. You're just gonna have to either draft a tight end or you pick up a tight end in free agency next year. You're still running into the
Mhm.
same problem with Hunter Henry another year older at that point. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I'd be happy with Likely. And Joku is my guy just because I've always liked him, kind of like AJ Brown. I've always liked them, but yeah, I would love to have Likely here. I think that'd be he would add a great dynamic here. Let me ask you, do you think they get any one of these guys? Because I still think they're going to draft someone regardless, no matter what round, whatever it is. But do you think that they do sign one of these guys in free agency?
I think it's circumstantial, and I'll just give the two quick circumstances. If they get AJ Brown, I think they sign one of the tight ends because I think then they'll be out on Alec Pierce. I think if AJ Brown deal doesn't happen, I think they sign Alec Pierce, and then I think they just draft a tight end and they do Hunter Henry and the rookie for tight end too, and then you, like I said, divvy up other money for other free agent positions. So that's what I think the two situations are going to look like.
Yeah, I probably lean on that side as well. I do think that they will add someone at tight end, and I guess that means I think they're going to get AJ Brown too. So yeah, I think that they'll do that. But if you can get like AJ Brown and Isaiah Likely, that the offense is already noticeably better than it was last year. Because you
Oh yeah.
replace Stefon Diggs and Austin Hooper with AJ Brown and Isaiah Likely, or even David Njoku, I think that you are better. You know, well, people that you can argue how much better or money or whatever. That's for, 9 to 5 radio. That's not for us. We just want talent. Money
Mhm.
is what it is. Yeah, I would take them there. But yeah, I do think that they will be active. I think they'll add two tight ends. I think one in free agency, and then they'll draft one. So we'll
Okay.
see. I would love it. Just build the pipeline. That's what I want to do. Another big name that's out there. I don't think they're going to get this guy. I'm not bringing up Max Crosby, by the way, because I don't think that they're going to pry
Oh,
him
that's
out
done.
of
That's
Vegas.
done. That's
I,
done.
I don't think so at all. But a big name, Trey Hendrickson. Do you think the Patriots are going to be in on him? And do you think that there's any chance? Like I said, I don't think Trey Hendrickson is coming here, but where do you land on that? Trey Hendrickson, by the way, defensive end pass rusher for the Bengals. Where do you land though, Al?
I think they should be in on him, but I don't think they're going to be in on him. I think they're going to go a different direction. I think they're going to see the age. I think they're going to see the injury history, and I think they're going to be like, you know what, we can't take a chance on this guy. Not with our motto of getting younger, but there is
Oh,
a name. There is a name that I think they're going to be very, very aggressive for. Jalen Phillips. I think that's the name that they're going to go for. They wanted him at the trade deadline this past
mhm.
season. Couldn't get a deal done with Miami, obviously, because Miami it was in division. So he ends up going to Philly. And I think this time they're going to get Jalen Phillips. I think he will be a Patriot, excuse me, before the end of next week.
Oh, he's to the top. AJ Brown is number one on offseason edition. Jalen Phillips is in that top five. Yeah, I want him here. Great fit. Like you said, they tried to get him before the trade deadline, didn't work out, which is fine. I think everything kind of worked out for the Patriots in that case. They got to the Super Bowl. We really can't complain. Yeah, I would want him. Another guy, Boye Mafe, outside linebacker from Seattle. They tried to get him at the trade deadline.
Yep.
Didn't end up working out. Obviously, he beat them in the Super Bowl. I would love to see him kind of switch sides and come to the good side. He's a lot of Patriots fans probably just aren't aware of him, and I'm not going to act like I'm some expert on him, but I do know he would be a great fit. You would love him here. You would love him like you do Robert Spillane. Like he's that guy. He's not a superstar name, but you would like him here. Al, I'm sure you've heard of the name. Would you be happy? Would you be cool if that was one of the bigger signings the Patriots made on defense?
I'd be fine with that because it fills a need. That's the
Yep.
thing. You need a pass rusher. If he's
He's
your
good.
pass
I'm telling
rusher,
you, he's good,
then
man.
fine.
Yep.
Then fine.
Yeah, he's good. And again, all these positions, the newsflash, the Patriots are adding at linebacker, pass rusher, and tight end in the draft. I'm telling you right now. And then guard too as well. But they are adding to all these positions still. The one name out that came free today that I want the Patriots to sign minute one of free agency from the New Orleans Saints, 15-year vet. It fills a need. Cam Jordan.
That'd be
Get
cool. I
He had 10 sacks last year. Get hit or double digit sacks at 10 and a half or 10, I forget. Get him over here. That fills a huge need.
Mhm.
You have him in Milton Williams. I'm not Christian Barmore, yeah, but like he pissed me off at the end of the year, so whatever. But if you could have him on the side of the line, and he loves playing football. Get him over here. I would love to see Cam Jordan here. And it's just a 1 year deal, too. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, or maybe a 2 year deal that's really a one if they want to go two. Get him over here because, Al, if you were going to trade, and this goes back to AJ Brown, that's everything does. If you're going to trade your first and your third, let's go with your super aggressive trade, which I think they might have to do.
Mhm.
you're not going to be able to get as many pass rushers as I would want you to get. So what do? You bring in Cam Jordan because they're still going to draft one or maybe
Mhm.
two, one later in the draft. But that Cam Jordan signing will be a bridge to next year where you draft another one. You keep going. You can never have enough pass rushers or linebackers in my eyes. So yeah, I think that Cam Jordan would be a shoe in, a home run type of a hit. He'd be like Chris Long when the Patriots signed him. Remember when they signed him and he showed up that whole year. I think he was only here 1 year as well, if I
I think
remember
so.
correctly. But yeah, get someone like that here. That's like a Darrell Revis signing, a hired gun. Listen, man, we think we can make it to the Super Bowl. Get your ass over here. I would love that. How would you feel about Cam Jordan?
I'd be fine with it. Again, fills a need, a veteran guy, a guy that needs to be in a winning situation instead of that travesty that is the New Orleans Saints organization right now. Like,
And
yeah,
he's still producing.
I know. Get him
And
over here.
he's a locker room guy. He loves to play. Like, dude, it just oh god, he would fill a need, like you said, and he would do the whole culture thing too that Vrabel wants. So yeah, yeah, I would love that. I want to throw a curveball at you,
Okay.
Stefon Gilmore, 2 years or
I'll
one
pass.
year, whatever,
I'll,
short
I'll,
deal.
pa- I'll pass.
All right.
I'll pass on Gilmore. I be- I have belief that the talent is still there. Not the talent that we saw in prime Gilmore years, but
No, 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 no.
there's still some, there's still some fuel left in the tires. But I think with Christian Gonzalez, I think with Carlton Davis, I think with Marcus Jones, I think you're in a good spot there. So I think that you kind of, again, if you want a corner, just get one in the draft. Just draft one mid to late rounds. See if you can kind of, you know, bring a little bit of something. But I don't think you need Gilmore at this point. I'll pass.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like to be honest, I kind of like talked myself out of it just in you talking just now. But I wouldn't hate it. Like that would be the thing. Like I definitely like I wouldn't see him and be like, oh God, they got, Stephon Gilmore. No, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. Um, let me let me throw another one out there to you. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard from the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that I
Just
think is kind of just
easy. It
a hundred
fills
percent.
fills a big need on that offensive line.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I would like that too. I don't know how realistic it is. Like I haven't heard anything about any of these guys being linked to any teams really. Like no one really has. And I guess technically you really shouldn't. You'll probably hear that more later on in the week. Another guy from Pittsburgh, Isaac Samalo. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't
Yes.
watch enough Pittsburgh
So
ones, but another guard. How would you feel?
I'd feel okay. The age is the big question. He's going to be like 34 years old.
Yeah.
It's another like Morgan Moses situation. You say you want to get younger, but then you add a mid 30s lineman. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, I would feel the same way. There was, since we're talking about guards, what the fuck is this guy's name? Who did the Patriots just meet with?
Oh, Jedrick Wills?
Jedrick Wills, 24 years old, 25 years old, a young guy, sat out all last year. He's a tackle. He could be
I
he has played
yes.
left.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just
Yes.
setting the stage because I do know there are fans who listen who aren't necessarily completely aware of all these things.
Right.
He's played left tackle. You could throw him at right tackle. Like you said, Morgan Moses is getting old. If he plays this year, Morgan Moses, it'll probably be his last year. Get him in here. He's 26 years old. Like, come and he played pretty well when he was around. So yeah, get him in here, make him learn right tackle, which he should be open to. And then yeah, I mean, you never know. You might have the guy for the next 5 years at right tackle. I would love that. And he has met with the Patriots already, which is a big thing. Like I think that's huge that he's already been here. So yeah, I'd be 100% fine with that. I would love that. But who knows? Malcolm Kuntz, defensive end from the Raiders. I'm sure you've heard the
Uh,
name.
yeah, I have. Um,
Just how would you feel?
I'd be whatever. I'd not happy, not sad about it. I'd just be like,
Just
okay,
whatever.
cool. Malcolm Kuntz is here. Like, cool.
Cool. Love it.
All right. Yeah. Awesome.
Did you, I have a couple more, but did you have any free agent names you want to throw out there to kind of throw into
Jedrick
the
Wills
pool?
was the one I was going to throw in there,
Jedrick
but
Wills.
yeah, there you go.
Crazy first
Yeah,
name.
let's rapid fire these last couples. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Familiar name. People wanted him when Mac Jones was the quarterback. John Mechie, slot receiver out of the Jets.
Uh,
Would you be cool?
yeah, if he wasn't the only wide receiver that you brought in, then yeah,
Oh, of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Pair
yeah,
him with an Alec Pierce or an AJ Brown. I don't think the Patriots are going to get this guy. I think he's going to get priced out. Adafe Owe, edge rusher from the Raiders. I mean, from the Chargers. Very good young guy. But I think that I think the contract's going to go up for him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he played well, or he plays well, but that's it. One name you'll know, everybody will know listening, and I don't really have any more after this. Khalil Mack,
I would like Khalil Mack for a year. I would
bro,
I would 1 year fly.
bring him in.
Absolutely,
Get him in here. 1 year.
absolutely.
1 year, dude. Yeah, I like the 1 year guys because you're going to be drafting at linebacker. So bring him
Uh-huh.
in, help him mentor, similar to Cam Jordan. I want both of them. I want
Yes.
both of these menaces in here. Like, do that, have them kind of teach the upcoming class and go from there. So Khalil
Yep.
Mack would be a good one. I would like to see that. Last one, Nakobe Dean, another Eagles guy, linebacker. A lot of talent, kind of not as old as Khalil Mack, but just another name to look out there for. Um, yeah, I don't
Hasn't
know if
he
I have.
hasn't he had
Yeah,
like issues and stuff like that, N'Kobe Dean?
yeah, a little bit, but it's kind of like do you want the talent? Yeah, I don't know, but
He might
I'm just throwing
be
out names.
a distraction. I'll pass on N'Kobe Dean.
Yeah. So if you had to guess, so other than AJ Brown, Alec Pierce, if you had kind of one guy, and other than Isaiah Likely, who would you want the Patriots to bring in free agency wise? Like who would you be content with? Doesn't need to be a huge name or whatever, but just of the names we've said, whatever. Who does Al want them to bring in?
Give me Jalen Phillips. I think that's a guy that can come in, make a huge difference in the pass rush, and can kind of help like take some pressure off Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, going from inside the tackles to outside to the edge to get around and get to the pass rusher.
Mhm.
If you told me day one they got Jalen Phillips, I'd be happy. That would be a
Ooh,
really good
that's a big
signing.
one. Yeah, that's a good one. I guess
You?
I'll stick with what I said. I want Cam Jordan.
Yep.
I want him here. Same reasons you said, just obviously older guy. Wouldn't be around as long as Jalen Phillips. But yeah, I want Cam Jordan here. But Jalen Phillips would probably be my guy too. We will have next week, we will have our free agency recap or kind of recap of what happened. Probably be later on in the week, maybe even a weekend episode. I'm not sure because free agency does officially open on Wednesday. So you definitely want to give it a couple days. So
Mhm.
who knows? But if the Patriots do sign AJ Brown or trade for AJ Brown, we will be back here to do an emergency episode, obviously, because that's a huge thing. But yeah, other than that, we will be back next week for the free agency episode. And yeah, the year kicked off. I'll tell you, Al, it's great when your team makes it to the Super Bowl because it's only a couple weeks until free agency opens. It's not like you don't have an extra month and a half to sit here and mull on the shit that you just witnessed.
I
You know,
know. Seriously. Let's get some reinforcements in here. Get us back to the Super Bowl.
I
Let's
think
do it.
I think we'll get him in. I'm calling it. I think it's going to be Patriots Bears Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. So do you have anything else you want to get to? Any other pressing thing, comment, concern, anything?
Nope. Get us to
Yeah.
next week to see if we signed anybody or traded for anybody.
Get out of here. We'll all be here, by the way, too. Liam, Al, Mike. We will all be here next week. Like I said, to recap the moves that were or weren't, see who the Patriots missed out on, who they got, who they're linked to, all that stuff. Best time of year for a NFL fan, for a football fan right now. You kind of get to see who your team's going to add. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, we'll be here later on in the week. Maybe look towards the weekend for the episode to drop. But for Al, for Liam in spirit, I'm Mike. This was Tuck Rule Takes, episode 221. And yeah, I got to say it. Sweet feet.
AJ Brown to the Patriots. Sweet feet.